Happy Mother's Day. Today I want to teach you shoulder stand, Salamba Sarvangasana. So you need a couple of things, a few props, but nothing too intensive, and most things I'm sure you have around your house already. I use these Mexican blankets, but you can use any blankets that you have at home. The blankets are about 1.5 inches thick, and I like to use 3 of them. But if you only have 2, try with 2. If you have 4, 4 can be great as well, especially for those of us with stiff shoulders. I also have a chair. You can use any chair that you have around the house. You could also use a wall. You don't necessarily even need a chair. You would just change the orientation of your mat. If you are going to use a chair, the precaution that I'd like to remind you of is that the chair remain on some sort of sticky surface. And the reason for that is when you go up, you'll be pushing your feet onto the chair, and you don't want the chair to slip out from underneath you and make it so that you fall. So what I'll do is I'll stack up my 3 blankets. I want to make sure that I can still see the very bottom blanket, so I make a very, very slight stair stack with the 3 blankets. And then I just make sure that the blankets are nice and even. If you're using just blankets around your house, maybe they're older, maybe they're a little bit lumpy, just smooth them out as much as possible. And then I'm going to go ahead and lie back onto my blankets. I want to make sure that my head remains onto the ground, but that the tops of my shoulders stay onto the blankets themselves, especially when my body goes up into the air. So to do this, I use my thumbs. I take the tip of my thumb and I place it against the top of my shoulder. And then I place it against the blankets, and I just make sure that I have the same distance from the tip of my thumb to my palm as I do from the top of my shoulder to the edge of the blankets. With my feet onto the chair, I'm going to make sure I'm centered, make sure my spine is straight, and then keep my gaze up towards the ceiling. My next step is to push my feet down into the chair, and then walk my feet in slightly so I can lift my pelvis up. I'll bend my elbows, walk my elbows towards one another, and bring the palms of my hands onto the back of my body. Now this may be enough for you because you're just learning the pose, or you may want to go a little bit further, in which case you can play around. Try lifting one leg up, and then the other. And then if it's right for you and you want to move even deeper into the pose, you can bring both legs up and practice making a form from your body that stacks the shoulders, the pelvis, the knees, and the ankles. When you're in the pose, keep your gaze fixed at your belly button or your 2 toes, your 2 big toes. Hopefully you have 10 toes. And then to come out of the pose, just stay to your maximum. Bring your feet back down onto the chair, or if you're using the wall, on the wall. Release your 2 hands. This part is key. As you bring your buttocks to the floor, look backwards. And if you continue to look backwards when you bring your buttocks and your back down to the floor, your head won't pop up. When your butt comes all the way to the floor, you can rest the backs of your calves on the chair and just stay here for a little while. And then when you're ready to come up, roll to the side and push yourself back up. Shoulder stand is considered the mother of all asana, and today on this Mother's Day, I hope you get an opportunity to practice it. If you do, please share that with me and let me know. Did it work for you? Did you like it? How did it make you feel? Those are all the things that I want to know about your practice. Happy Mother's Day.
Here is an example of what your blankets would look like stacked on top of one another. 3 blankets stacked like a small set of stairs. This would be if your mat were facing the wall. You would, of course, probably not have a tiny chihuahua disrupting your filming process. Good luck.